yes, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse and DPayne.
Muy bien. And that's hello in Lug. Oh gosh, Luxembourgish. I can't wait till I leave this and get to countries I can pronounce and heard of.
But yeah, so this week on the podcast, we are talking about what won our last poll, which it feels so long since we've had a poll between the holidays and guests and everything.
I can look it up real quick. Um, I guess we should also real quick, like they don't seem to be saying the nations anymore. It's like, yeah, we don't say the nations too much now or anymore because it's getting more difficult to find out uh what nations are new with just the way they are being recorded. And
Yeah, the
so
the statistic pretty much shows it as what percentage of your listeners are from this country. So we appreciate you guys as you listen more, but if you're new, it gets all muddled up.
December 19th is when we made the last poll.
Wow.
So that was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so the 90s toys is what ended up winning out. I Are we just going to become a childhood podcast mixed with video game content?
I prefer the term nostalgia.
Oh, okay. Yes. Although what? We have like 5 episodes titled childhood.
Yeah, well, the other thing is like if it's yeah, it'll be like a childhood podcast mixed in with a little bit of video game and then a whole lot of cursed food.
Oh, yes, yes. We can't forget the cursed foods.
Let's see. Oh,
Thanks to me.
and then the month of Halloween.
Oh, yeah, our monster cast. That
The
was fun.
monster cash.
It is fun doing a theme podcast to change it up every once in a while. But yeah, so we do have an announcement. Do you want to hold the announcement out to the end, or do you want to kind of hint at what the announcement is now?
Trying to remember what the thing that was already done but is coming out later.
Smooth.
I may have forgotten. No, yeah, guys, we got secret guest, and we will let you know who secret guest is at the end of the episode. I didn't forget that we did that.
But yeah, so I guess just the usual thing before we jump completely in. It would be great and helpful to us if you have some time to leave us a review. We'll be sure to shout you guys out. Oh, and if you interact with us on Twitter as well, on twitter.com/pointlessdisco. We'll be sure to acknowledge you guys. We always appreciate you guys interacting with us. And for every 10 reviews, we will plan another live stream on Twitch of the podcast to,
And it will be more than just planned. It will happen.
well, we got to plan it first and then it will happen.
Yes.
But yeah, so if you review us anywhere other than on iTunes, then we might need you guys to let us know. Because we don't know how to check any other websites because we're really good at the internet.
Maybe that should be our goal of 2021. Find out how to check out reviews on other sites.
Also, yes, if any of you listeners, it is we did our New Year's podcast, but now that we're officially into 2021, do you guys have anything that you have planned for the year? Hopefully, it will be a nicer year than the last.
I would say I have stuff planned, but Hop's like, well, me and Hop have done stuff for so long that she's like, DPayne, you have way too many things planned. As a friend of ours says, you plan everything. And I was like, that's no, it is.
But you were able to coordinate things when I had a last minute change plans on us. So it works out. It's a good thing to have.
Sometimes. It might have been easier if we just did what you originally were suggesting, was just like, just do it without me. And I was like, no.
I refuse.
I don't know how to have conversations by myself.
But yeah. I mean, do you have anything that you wanted to share for what you have planned for 2021?
I'm still thinking of what would be. I'm in the context now because we're recording the podcast, and I was like, what would be a good like thing to be like, I don't know, for podcast wise, and besides just using our Twitter more.
Yeah, I know we used it a lot during Halloween, and then we
and then
fell
it was
off.
like, yeah, um You know what? Here, let me look at something.
Should we do the thing again where we take clips? We used to do that.
Oh, that's probably a real good one.
Yeah, that'd be on me. Okay. For me to do.
I'll try to make one of those audio things that I made the one time.
Okay. Oh yeah, we really haven't been, since, you know, we're not streaming it so often. We don't really have video to go with it, right? So.
Yeah, we could turn on the video.
I am not prepared for that in this current state.
for the people that are watching the YouTube. Hi.
Hey. And yeah, I did almost catch up with all our episodes on YouTube, but I fell behind on that again. I think I got to like 30, and then.
Well, that's close because we're like episode 37.
Yeah, so I'm getting there.
Well, after we record this one, we'll be up at 38.
So many episodes. We've almost done this for a year.
I know. In May?
Yeah.
Look at that, guys.
We got to plan ourselves a fun anniversary podcast. If you guys have ideas, also let us know on twitter.com.
I do remember giving a suggestion for the 69th episode, which was just to name things that were nice.
I thought that didn't we also have Blackjack as a guest asked to be on that episode to
talk
yes.
about? There's been multiple. Didn't we get all our guests back on episode 69? That'd
be interesting chaos.
Yeah, especially since now our guests are. How many guest episodes do we have? I don't know. We're probably by that point it'll be in double digits.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because let's see, we had. Actually, we recorded this in the secret document of spreadsheets.
Oh, not secrets.
Well, I think we mentioned it was a spreadsheet. Oh, we have not been keeping this up. Let's see. So we talked to them. We talked with this person. Okay, hold on. So yeah, we talked with System Chalk. We talked with Rainbow. We talked with Blackjack, and we talked with secret guest that is coming up. I almost said it. But then, guys, also we're putting in some work to hopefully do some collab. That's actually, you know what? That is a goal that I think is good. We want to collab with other podcasts.
Yes. So if you are listening and you also do a podcast, let us know. We'll check you out. Maybe we'll reach out.
Unless you took our name.
Unless you stole our name and then stopped putting out episodes in November.
Well, it was the end of season 1. I don't want to say too much because I might come back.
Anyway, we're not confused at all by that. But anyway.
Oh, it might have be the reason why we made sure we got on iTunes. I don't want this dice. This is dice that screws me. I don't want.
All right, but
this one.
I think we've rambled plenty for the people. So are you ready to roll to see who gets to talk first?
If I bring up that sheet again of the quiz that 3 people took, they said they liked our rambling. It's Ramblecast.
We didn't even get to our topic yet.
I know. This is why the episodes take too long.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and roll our dice since you seem to be preparing your dice. For anyone that is newer here, we roll dice to see who gets to speak first. We follow rules like in D&D or Pathfinder because we're both tabletop nerds, where we roll 20-sided dice. Whoever rolls higher goes first. And
Rolling with advantage.
And then we have our own special rule for whoever loses the roll. The even or odd factor decides if we talk about our least favorites or the most favorites for our 90s toys today.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't think you can beat me. I did it. I did it this week.
What'd you roll?
I crit. Nat 20.
Yeah, I rolled 5 dice and I didn't get there.
Wait, why'd you roll 5 dice?
Well, I wanted to see if I could beat my original one. And I did.
What was your original?
4 times. 6.
Oh. All right, so I'll be going first, and then we will be talking about our favorites. So
yes.
I will go ahead and just jump right in. So my runner-up, I feel like, I don't know if it speaks to kind of like personality things. If you've watched me stream and how I handle games or heard me how I talk and handle games. I also, for anyone who isn't familiar, I also have a YouTube that I occasionally upload to, and I started sharing like my bullet journaling content and how I use bullet journaling for streaming and all the other things that I make on the internet. My runner-up is Perfection, the game. Do you remember this game?
It sounds familiar.
It is it's stress simulator for children. I So for anyone who isn't familiar with it, it is a little mechanical toy, and you have shapes.
Oh, I know this.
Yes, and you have shapes, and you have to put the shapes in their proper spots before time runs out, or like a whole bunch of noise and things pop out and everything flies everywhere and you feel bad about yourself. I loved this. I would play this forever.
I never owned one, but I remember like playing it at my cousin's or friend's house. It's like, you know, that toddler toy where it's like match the shapes and you're like, yeah, cool. Reminds me of a TikTok I saw where someone just slid all the shapes into the square circle because they were cut out the same size, the same like width. But then this one's like, okay, toddler, you know how to do that? Boom. Now do it with a timer. And if you don't do it fast enough, it attacks you. Ooh, there's a multicolor one. Go ahead, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, but I forget the whole mechanics of it, but yeah, you have different small shapes and you have to put them into their proper slots. And if you don't do it in time, if it isn't perfect in time, then like a buzzer goes off and it shoots up, and anything you started to work on gets flung out, and you have to clean those up to go and do it again. I think I started to get to it where, you know, I could eventually win. And I guess winning is being perfect, which is not a good message.
It's the best message.
I didn't personally own it. Growing up, I had a babysitter across the street, and they owned it. And they didn't really have a lot of, like, if I was home around that age, I had like video game systems and things like that. Like I had a Game Boy Color. I had other things I could play with. I might have had a PC that was connected to the internet at this point. Maybe not. I don't remember.
That reminds me of one clarification that we made. This is one that we actually made like in a call together, like our lists. And one clarification that we did say was no consoles. So if we don't say Game Boy Color or the Super Nintendo or PlayStation, that is why. Because we're big gamer nerds and we're gonna be like,
those are default.
Yes. So I don't know, maybe we should just add that to a topic and be like, anyway, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off, but you said Game Boy and I was like, oh yeah, we're not bringing that one up. So anything that could play multiple different games that you had to buy, we didn't do.
Yeah, it felt like a little cheaty. But looking at it, I didn't realize this when growing up. I don't know what. So there's apparently also a timer you can set on it to see how fast you want to do it. So if you break a personal record, you could go back and try and make it harder for yourself. I do not have any memory of where or like what difficulty I would play on. But this was one of those things where at most they had a TV that still had dials on it at the time. So this was very much a source of entertainment and suffering for me as a child, but I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. But I am like a hyper organized, tries to get things done thing. But as I've been getting on my TikTok feed, what was it? Sad gifted burnout kid stuff, and like this might be in my category of stuff that I did as a kid that now I would never touch again.
I was looking at this. First off, look at this screenshot for this game that someone's put in there. This person playing this is an idiot. Anyway, second thing.
So the screenshot he sent me is basically, imagine the letter X, and imagine trying to fit the letter X in something shaped like a duck.
They deserve to lose. But the other thing, because like, you know, it's 2021. We'll allow a few peeks behind the curtain. Hop and I, which you know what, we have said this multiple times, where we're like, we would like to do like live show at convention at some point. What if this is how we determine who goes first?
Oh wait, no, no. So many memories would be brought back that I don't think I'm ready for.
And then, especially with you know what? I want to invest in the giant D20s, not like the giant one I have here that I've shown on stream multiple times, like a big, big one. That like we have to use two hands. I'm like mimicking how we'd have to pick it up, and I realize my webcam is off, but it's just like picking that up and then throwing it with two hands.
So, talking about this toy again has unlocked a memory that I had forgotten about. Have you ever seen the commercial for this toy?
I don't think so.
There's one commercial that I really remember. It's a man with a very like blue and suit with a yellow t-shirt, much in the colors of the board itself, right?
Mhm.
Where and he's got like a crazy updo, kind of like crazy chin and jawline, and they show the perfection popping. And when the perfection pops, when they don't finish it, they decided to CGI the pieces coming out of this man's body.
I might have seen this. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I just found it on YouTube. How do I there? Tippy tap, type.
Oh, okay. I will type it in. Perfection commercial. Never mind. Oh, this was showing up. Okay.
It's a very short tidbit. It's maybe like, what was it, 18 seconds long?
This guy got a good chin.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I do remember this commercial.
I forgot about this.
Just like boing.
Boing right out of his body. So, yeah.
Now, the question is, does that happen every time a timer goes down? Just like you have the egg timer, and then you're just like, no.
He has to
no.
run out of the kitchen.
And then it's just like, ding, egg's done. And then it's just like, boom, and just knocks his like boiling pot of water down. He's just like, not again, my feet.
That would be the worst superpower.
Oh, he could be hired for. Oh, that reminds me of a TikTok I saw. Hey guys, prepare. The beginning of 2021 is going to be like, oh yeah, that reminds me of a TikTok I saw because we got into TikTok late.
Late is, yeah, an understatement.
We got into it after the government tried to shut it down.
Yes. The government was like, fine, we won't shut it down this time. We're like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We rebels. We're like, okay, government doesn't like it. Mm-hmm. That's what punk is in 2021. But imagine if that's like what. Oh, imagine if he was the timekeeper for chess, and it's just like, you gotta go, otherwise your game's done, buddy.
Oh no. Oh no, the hour's about to hit. Oh god, you guys are gonna lose all the pieces. What's gonna happen?
Like, yeah, it's just like, oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna get hit by my X's and knobs and baboozles.
Baboozles. Yeah, I don't have much to say other than that. Like, I don't know if I liked this because of my personality, or if this helped develop my my need to try and organize things in my life personality trait.
If anything, I just remember the wise words of a young child when they talked about tacos, and she looked into the faces of men and women everywhere and said, why not both?
Another classic commercial.
Yeah, any commercial that I reference is going to be an older commercial because I don't watch TV.
I don't know if anyone even references newer commercials. I think the only commercials that get referenced now are what, Super Bowl ads?
Yeah, and they suck.
There's always one or two that I think are great, but it is pretty rare nowadays.
Do you remember when they made a storyline for the Budweiser frogs?
Vaguely. I remember when, who was it?
Okay, hold on. I'm writing this down. Super Bowl commercials as a talking point. That is definitely going to be one.
Before we forget.
But go ahead. Keep talking.
I remember the Budweiser horses, and then I know in recent years they did, the Bud Night?
Oh, yeah.
But I remember the frogs themselves just being like, frog dudes. Yeah.
There. Well, that was their names. Like whatever word they said was their names, I think.
Oh,
I could be wrong. It's either that or something really weird. I remember the Budweiser penguin.
penguin.
Yeah, that's like really, really old. That's like early 90's. Like uh pretty it was I think it was used more for NHL commercials. But yeah. By the way, was that your runner up or
That
your
was my
runner up to your
runner-up.
runner up? Did you have a runner up to the runner up?
No.
Okay. All right, we're doing good. Okay. You know what? Also, based off our conversation, my runner up to the runner up may be uh, on your list. I'll
Okay.
say my runner up to the runner up afterwards just to make sure.
Okay.
Um, okay. So my runner up. um, Yeah, so my runner up to the list is actually something I mentioned on stream, and every time I mention it, people are like, I have no clue what you're talking about, DPayne. I was like, well, you just shut up. Is Crazy Bones.
I vaguely remember these. Were they more
Yes.
collectible than toys?
Um, both. There were
Okay.
some that were rarer than others, like Eggy. But let me first explain what a Crazy Bone is before I start naming things that people are like, what is he talking about?
I remember these, but yeah, I didn't know anyone that played with them. I guess is how I'll phrase it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so pretty much Crazy Bones is actually like, if I remember reading it correctly, it's based off like an old Roman game but they didn't have plastic back in Roman times, and so they used literal knuckles and like knuckle bones, which is now in the 90's Crazy Bones that aren't, well, to my knowledge, aren't knuckles. That would be a weird twist. But yeah, they pretty much what you do is they came in a different assortment of sizes. Eggy was just an egg with two little legs. There was one that looked like a mushroom. Yeah, and so there's all these different things, and they came out with like different series, kind of like how Pokemon came out with them. And there was like multiple different ways you could play, but the main way that me and my friends played was you would line them up, like you would sit at a table or a desk, line them up on each side, and then you would choose one and flick it over to knock over as many Crazy Bones as you can of the opposite team. And if they get knocked over, then that means like they're out of the game, and then whoever loses their line first loses. So
Okay, yeah, it looks like here it says that the game that was inspired by was called Astragalus or Astragals, and is known today as Jacks or Marbles for another variation.
mhm. Yeah, like there is a way to play this as Jax, but I don't remember how. And because I don't know, me and my friends never did that. We just did the one, line them up, throw them at each other. There was apparently like 3 or 4 different ways to play, and
Yeah, I see
I
a whole list on this Wikipedia like of different game modes. Kids used to be I used to be so creative with how to play with toys. Now I just read instructions and go, "Thank you video game for forcing me down this railroad."
well, we got all our creativity in playing with what's that called? D&D.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. I'm getting more and more like I just want to play a tabletop role playing game, and I'm just like I don't even care what it is. I just want to have regular like streams where I just play a board game. I'm like about to like ask my friends that wanted to start this podcast thing. I'm like, hey, can we just say? I know we originally started. We keep flip flopping back between Pathfinder Second Edition, but it's like we all know how to play Fifth Edition D&D. Do we just want to do something with that? I know I'm the one that is the big hiccup with all this because I'm going to be the one running it. and I already changed it. I know you guys already bought all the books. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to find like once a month friends and just be like, okay, hey, we're just gonna do this. I don't know. I'm welcome to the thought thread of DPayne as he plans out content. It's just like, I want to do this. How can I possibly do this? And then there's probably in the echoes of Hop Springs like, don't ask me. You ask me too much.
I see Crazy Bones
Oh, yeah, that's what
had a
I'm talking about.
partnership with McDonald's, and they were in their Happy Meals for a bit.
It's probably why I got some.
Within 2 years, the company's revenues had grown to nearly 17 million.
Yeah, and then just straight up bamfed out of existence.
Yeah, it does say that they did an aggressive marketing campaign in the U.S. Where was it? To scout meetings, club groups, fairs, and shows where they gave out free samples.
Yeah, it like once again, it was a fun game, and like the other thing is like at least in my middle school, like everyone was collecting them and we were having fun with it. One of the things that I know that me and my brothers would do is like, oh my goodness, I was pretty much doing RP servers before there was RP servers. So like something that me and my brothers would do all the time was like, if it was Crazy Bones, if it was like Hot Wheel cars, we would just do skits and plays and just like act them out. Kind of like that person on YouTube that really annoyed me a couple of years ago. That's not in any outro or something. That was a conversation between co-hosts that wasn't recorded.
Yeah, you did not miss context.
Yeah, it's a very rare time that we have unstreamed we have unrecorded conversations every once in a while, because if it's TFT we're just like
Yeah, but do you have anything else that you want to say about the Crazy Bones?
My internet browser was freaking out. So what I was getting to that was like me and my brothers, we would act out, like we would have a few, and like I know people like would play like house, like where it's like here's the mom, here's the dad, and blah blah blah. For us, like because we were just like at that time it was just 3 brothers, and we would just make fun, and not make fun, but we would just like, it was our version where we would, like there were no parents, we're just like straight up rebel kids running around. And like my youngest brother at that point, he had one, and like he was always the baby. And pretty much what I'm getting to is there's now like a meme within our family, like every couple of like years we'll remember, like we'll just say, hey, do you remember satellite dish, satellite dish, satellite dish? And that's all we do is grab a Crazy Bone and just turn it around real slowly, just saying satellite dish, satellite dish, satellite dish. And it's like, do I remember the context of this? Absolutely not.
But the memories are there.
Yes. So it but yeah, so those Crazy Bones, at least in the Payne household, got way more play than just the game. Like, so yeah, we did RP. So, but yeah, that is all I have to say about the Crazy Bones.
Okay, so then I will go ahead and roll us into our favorites, and then you can say your runner-up afterwards. All right. Yeah. I feel like my favorite is kind of out of left field, and I don't think you can guess it. I'll let you try and guess it.
Well, what if I guess something out of right field?
Then that's not my guess, because I said mine was in left.
Oh. Let's see. What do I know of Hop? She likes this. Out of left field. I don't know. If I'm gonna choose something completely on Hop, the first thing that comes to my mind is that oven that made the plastic bugs.
Oh yeah, no, that's not. Nope. I did not have one of those.
I went too far in left field.
Okay.
I didn't have one either.
So I will say, when it comes to me, I know I've kind of like made fun of some other streamers that I'm friends with because you all have made the decision to let channel points decide you have to do exercise. And I said, I am too lazy. I do not want to do the exercise. But my favorite 90s toy I remember growing up was a Skip It.
Oh man, as soon as you went there, I'm like, it's a Skip It.
It's a Skip It. As soon as I said exercise, you're like, oh, she's going to say Skip It.
I'm like, jump rope? No, Skip It.
Jump rope, I don't think you can say is 90s specifically. But yeah, no, the Skip It, for anyone who did not have one of these, it's essentially just a counter you put on your foot. And you trick yourself into exercising because you're like, oh, how many skips can I get before before I get too tired? And yeah, that was just me. I would just stand there and talk to my friends. And I remember trying to use a Skip It as I got older, and because I remember enjoying it. And those plastic hard rings do not fit on all sizes and ankles. Don't hurt yourself.
All the sizes of the world. Yeah, I did not have this because if I remember correctly, back in the 90s, things were much more gender coded.
Yeah, Skip Its were very pink and purple and
well, pastel colors
yeah.
in general, which back in the 90s, pastel was woman
only
colors.
Girl only, sorry. Not woman.
Oh, yeah.
Woman.
Not
Girl.
women's. Women's in the 90s didn't exist.
But
now I'm like thinking through them, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, the toy aisles were very, like, I feel like they still kind of are gender coded. Like when I go Christmas shopping, I get confused because I will be like, oh, this is where all these toys are. So naturally, these toys, but in a different movie, should be next to these. Wait, I have to go 3 aisles over.
Yeah, it's...
Why are all action figures next to action figures? Why are all stuffed animals next to stuffed animals?
Like, I'll admit, even when I'm shopping for, like, clothing for myself, I'll be sitting there and I'm like, is this guy or girl clothing? Like, I'm like, and it's probably just unisex, but I'm just sitting there, I'm like, am I buying girl shirt? What? Yeah. What is this?
The differences in sizing does make it a problem. The way that they cut shirts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
now colored is no longer confusion because I want to say 75% of wardrobe is all gray.
Easy.
Yeah, this is how I'm slowly getting into the minimalist mindset, is just buying all my clothes to be gray. That way I don't have to worry what matches.
Mm-hmm.
And then people give me shirts and they're not gray, and I'm like, well, dumb.
How dare my aesthetic. But
Great.
so Skip It literally was was those kind of counters. Like, you see people at events and they have the little hand thing to, whether or not you're allowed on the ride because there's too many people in the line already.
Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm.
And then, so it was just that on your foot. So as it would go in revolutions around, assuming that you skipped. And I think I had friends that tried to cheat it to figure out what counts as a skip. Like, do you have to do a full circle? Do you have to do a semi? I don't remember where we got with that. But yeah. And then we also tried to have speed contests with it. But the actual piece itself is dangerous. Like, the part that holds the counter. That thing was like hard plastic and I think could wreck someone's day. Like, I think someone accidentally hit someone else's shin with it and they just fell over.
Yeah, I was like, if I remember, it was just like a bulb at the end of a thing.
Mm-hmm. And it was all plastic. There was nothing about that had any give or any kindness to it.
I wanted to see if there was Skip It commercials. I wanted to see if Skip It shot out of people's chests. I found one.
Oh, it looks like now they make Skip Its, but they put rubber padding around the ankle. You guys have it good. And it has LEDs in it, so it like makes flashing lights and all this stuff.
This is really funny because like this commercial, it's just in slow-mo.
Of someone playing Skip It.
Yeah. And it's just like they wanted guys to use it because that's why there's the blue Skip It.
Oh, I wonder if I did this with my friends. So I'm watching the commercial, and I don't remember if I ever had my friends like essentially
Yeah.
jump rope over my skip it. I don't think we ever tried that.
Hold on, there's a really weird cut in this commercial. Is this kid even jumping over it? Oh, that's why. Okay, I was looking. Yeah, I thought the skip it was attached to a different child, and I was like, why is this person only jumping on one foot? Why is this still spinning? To realize that the skip it is actually attached to that child and not the one that's behind her jumping like a maniac.
Apparently, Twister came out with a skip it. Twister will. Twister's everywhere. They'll kind of rebrand their name on anything. But yeah, so that's my favorite childhood toy. And I think after this, I graduated to my one friend had a pogo stick with a counter on it.
Yeah, you know what though? This still fits with the hop aesthetic of orderly number of finding out how much you did, and that it
a clear end goal to my toy.
yeah, that there is a count that is being added.
There were records to be broken.
So yeah, no, it still fits. It's still in the field of hop. It might be deep in the field of hop, but now I'm imagining our lives and interest in the form of of a baseball field.
So the fields for me, so I shouldn't think of that field as exercise field. I should think of that field as numbers field.
Yeah,
And then
it's
perfection
still
is in my organized field.
You see, because like if yeah, like if someone told you here's the max amount of number that could be attributed to, well, probably not now, but attributed to the skip it, you've been like, because you were trying to hack the skip it. I heard you say like,
Yes.
how can we get the most efficient skip it spins? And I'm like, that is speedrunner talk for a toy.
Kids
That's
get
like
bored,
when
yo.
what?
Kids get bored, yo.
Yeah. Well, like it's the other side of it where it's just like people are sitting there trying to figure out like how can I make my Fitbit count more steps? And it's like that is the opposite of what you're trying to do.
Just step, man. No,
It's like
so
this is why you are heavy.
well, so what I will say is I know for a while they were like to try and encourage healthier lifestyles at my job. A lot of us sit at desks. So they were trying to encourage us and say, "Hey, if you have a fitness tracker provided by the company and if you can get so many steps, we'll we'll help with your deductible or like that kind of thing." Well, we'll contribute a little bit of money to help with your deductibles for health insurance.
Who put it on their dog?
A lot of people put it on their dog, but my favorite was the washing machine.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Yeah, that one I was like, that one seems consistent enough in a pattern that they won't be like, because a dog is like sprinting really fast, like, zoomies.
Yeah. It's like you can't attach it to your buns.
Mm-mm.
And for new listeners, bunnies.
Yes, I have 3 rabbits.
I realize I call your rabbits buns, and if no one has no clue what I'm talking about, don't me too me, okay?
My username is rabbit inspired.
Yes, but that's still like I was about to say a hop away, and I was like, oh my goodness. there's still context in between.
But yeah. So what is your favorite toy from the 90s?
Oh, cool. Twitch broke. Sorry.
Thanks, Twitter.
No, I just refreshed my following page because I saw someone was complaining about it, and I was like, what happened? And it broke. What am I looking for? Still haven't found what I'm looking for. Okay. Once again, I don't think this toy for me, that's my number one, fits in my runner-up. My runner-up is definitely a 90s toy. Like it's just spoiler for you because it was mentioned. Like it it is it was mentioned when we were kind of talking through making the list in case we had to record this earlier. Um, that is my runner up to the runner up. But this one, I know people still play this today, but for me, when I think of a yo-yo, I think of the 90s.
Yo-yos were very big for a while. I mean, I know yo-yos still have like competitions, and they're still
Yo-yo!
I know. I knew people a few years ago. Was it a few? Yeah, when I was in my apartment, I found out that there was like a whole yo-yo club in my one board game store I liked going to, and then I found out my boyfriend's coworker at the time was like into competitive yo-yoing, so it still exists. It's not exclusively 90s, but it was very big in the 90s.
Yeah, it's kind of like fighting games. Like they have an age that they are very, very popular, and then they're just played in the bathroom for tournaments. And if anyone thinks I'm making a joke, that is a real thing. Bloody Roar, which was a game on the PS2 Xbox, I think. While there was a big, it wasn't Evo, but it was like a big video game tournament. They instead of being on the field, fans just brought a TV and console and plugged it into the bathroom and just had their own little tournament there. Anywho, but yeah, yo-yos. I remember like, because now that I'm thinking about it, like the age of childhood was the 90s for me, even though by technicality I was born in the 80s. I am a 90s kid, and it was crazy where it's just like I remember my first yo-yo and I was like, that's cool, it goes up and down, whatever. But then I remember going to a church event, and then there was an older kid who had a sleeper, which, or no, they were called a brain. I don't know why they were called a brain, or if they are even called brains, but that's what they said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, he scrolled. Sorry, not he didn't scroll down, but it was just like that's when I found out what the sleeper was, which at least once again, that's what it was called to me. When you would throw the yo-yo down. Ooh.
Can you hear the cuckoo clock?
Oh, yes, I can. I hope that makes it on the podcast. But yeah, you would throw it down at the end of the string, and then it would just sit there and spin, and it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, I remember
ever.
that.
But then it's like, I'm like, oh, sweet, I can do that. That's neat. And then my friends were like, and like the other older kids were like, but wait, there's more that you can do. And I was like, there's more? And they're like, yes. And there's like the cat's cradle or whatever it was called. The one where you made the triangle and you could swing it back and forth.
I remember walking the dog.
Yeah, walking the dog was one. I also remember cut off the blood circulation to the tip of my finger because I kept throwing the yo-yo too hard. But no, yo-yos, oh man, they're always fun, and it's one of those things where like you looking at people who do yo-yos are like, they will always have like an appreciation for me, because like you didn't have to be athletic, you just had to be good. And me, as I look back at old health charts from my doctor, apparently I have always been obese according to that chart.
Wow.
So, and I'm like, cool. Which always, I remember asking this question, was like, but if I've always been that weight percentage, does that mean that's like normal for me? I never got that question answered. Like, I was just an overachiever in weight. But yeah, it was one of those things that was just, it's really cool. Like, I don't know, I still get mesmerized when like people are able to like have the string wrapped around their fingers and then toss the yo-yo part back and forth like on the string and like wrapping around and just moving all over the place. And I'm like, how did you not tie a knot or your fingers together?
Yeah, that I put earbuds in my pocket and I pull them out and they're tangled. Like
And they're wireless. But yeah, yo-yos I think they're cool.
they're fun.
I want a yo-yo now. How much is a yo-yo?
Depends. Because plastic ones are probably cheap, but a lot of people that do the really cool tricks, they have the metal yo-yos, right?
Yeah. I also wanted to say my last O in yo-yo didn't save, so I typed in yoy into Amazon, and the second thing is the Blu-ray collection for all 3 Toy Stories.
Yoy Story.
Which what the heck is that? Okay, that's one of these pictures. Is very suggestive for a kid book.
Oh no.
Anyway, let's type in yo-yo, and oh, there's Yo-Yo Professional. Merlin, dude, I remember the Fireball. That was the good one. Oh, that's right. There was a yo-yo called the Brain.
Oh, okay. Like that was the style of that yo-yo.
Yeah. If I look up yo-yo styles, what comes up?
So anyway, before we get completely lost in the yo-yos, you said that was your runner-up, or that was your number one?
No, that was my number
one.
Oh,
okay. So what was or do you want to save your runner-up until we talk about our least favorites?
I can share it now.
Okay.
I'm looking at yo-yos, though. A lot of them look like 2, whatever they're called, rollerblade wheels just stuck together. Anyway. Enough looking at yo-yos. I'm not going to buy one. I used my Amazon gift card for the day. Or that I got for Christmas. I got a water purifier.
Ooh.
We'll see how well it works. So my runner-up to runner-up, and the only reason I put in my runner-ups is because it was mentioned when we were planning and talking about, oh, should we do this? And this, I think, is at least a late 90s, but a 90s toy. And it is the Tamagotchi / the knockoff Tiger version Gigapets.
Okay, yes. I remember. Because we got into the whole, do these count the same way as consoles? And we decided no. Because you can't just swap out and play Nintendogs instead of Tamagotchi. Nintendogs was much later, but...
Very true. But yeah, for people who don't know what Tamagotchi is, first off, there's an app for Tamagotchis. If you want to relive the stress of a Gigapet, or there's tons of them. But anyway, there's like tons of different versions. But anyway, a Tamagotchi was, you started it off. You pulled out the little plastic strip. It went like, beep, and then you had an egg. And then, well, cool, like a digital egg. Okay, hold on, we better start. First off, this was a small, fit in the palm of a middle schooler size electronic,
and they're shaped kind of like an egg. Similar.
Yeah, it was shaped like an egg. Yeah, had a small little screen. There was no colors on the screen, and then it, believe, depending on what kind of thing you bought, it had 3 to 5 buttons. Once again, like I believe Tamagotchis only had 3. I think Tiger had the Gigapets had like 3 or 4, and which honestly the 3 buttons was like scroll left, scroll right, enter. And so anyway, you pulled the plastic strip, the battery engaged, and an egg appeared on the screen. You're like, okay, cool. So the next day, the egg hatched, and that from the egg would hatch is a blob. And then this was just one of those constant experiments of take care of your egg child from school, which I never got. I never had one of those things. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't have an egg thing to take care of in school. When I got to middle school age, I think this is just particular to where I grew up, but we had full-on robotic babies with keys that would cry. Mine only
Yeah.
cried twice a day. I lucked out.
Yeah, my some of my friends who had that, like, it was a very similar thing. I also found out that um oh, what was it? I remember this person, their partner, and they got super mad at their partner because they're like, "So you can break the baby's neck?" And they did. And yeah, apparently they're like, yeah, the scream that came out of that robot baby was the worst sound I've ever heard in my life.
Oh.
But then I think they just put the key in and robot baby was fine.
No.
This is why robot babies are better than real babies. Anywho, um, but yeah, so it was a digital version of that pretty much, because if you did not clean, poop, feed, and take care / entertain child, digital child died a lot. And so what you would have to do pretty much is like, and that was the thing, like once it got older it could take care of itself a little bit and last longer. But when you're like in middle school age, and like especially during school age, middle school age, it's not like you can constantly like be like, oh, I need to take care of this digital baby.
Yeah, you have school to deal with too.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's not like 2020 school where you guys could keep playing Among Us and all that stuff while the teacher's like, why won't you listen?
Why is no one's cams on?
Yeah. And then they cry and then they make it on the TikToks.
Oh, I haven't seen any of that.
Well, I don't know if it's TikTok. I don't know. I've seen videos of like teachers like having mental breakdowns because no one will turn on their camera.
Mm.
And they're just like, it's high school students. They're just like, I don't know what you want. Just, we don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anywho, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I know I had a few growing up, and it's like, it was one of those things I also remember, like, my mom wanted us to, like, she wanted us to see the next stage, because, like, the ones that we had, it was ball, then slug, and then we never got past slug, because slug died in the middle of the night. And so, like, my mom, like, since she was, one of the things I find really funny, my mom is a morning person while the rest of my brothers aren't. Like, none of us are early risers. Which, yeah, once again, don't know how that happened. So, actually, I think one of my brothers probably a riser. Doesn't matter. So, but like, I remember she's just like, I think once we got past slug baby, and she was like, oh, we got it past it. We got it past it. Look at that. And then it like died like shortly after.
No.
It was just like, I was like, oh man. So
Yeah.
they just gave us goldfish.
I personally didn't have a Tamagotchi. I don't know why I didn't. I just never did.
Mm-hmm. So they're okay. They're fun, but like once again, if you want to not relive, or just relive or experience that, there is a Tamagotchi app, but at the same time, you're not getting the real experience because that's on your phone, and the phone will just let you know, yo, Tamagotchi need mama. And it's just like you didn't have the total awake. That's why I am. That is the reason why I am. I had too many Tamagotchi get digital pets die, and now I feel nothing. Death has no meaning. I just have to hit the reset button on the back, and they come back, right?
Try again.
And do again.
Yes, the joys of having to find a very small pointy object to reset things.
Yeah, toothpick.
I always took a paper clip and then bent out the tail.
I think I took thumbtacks. Now I think about it. I had a lot of posters. Another thing of the 90s that never left.
Yeah, I used tape for my posters. Ripped that wallpaper once we had to move, but
It ain't your house.
yeah, I just lived in it. I didn't pay for it. But,
Yeah.
all right, are you ready to go into our least favorites?
I guess.
All right, my runner-up least favorite are the Trolls dolls.
The ones that Justin Timberlake and that other singy girl is part of?
I get. Are those supposed to be the same thing? Because they seem more like Smurfs to me, right? Because they're like colorful.
They got that. See, so in the 2000s, in the aughts, it was a gritty reboot. Now it's happy reboot time, where everyone is softer and rounder and happier.
Oh, I guess technically these are because they have the same hairstyle. I just remember from
Yes.
the 90s, I had one. I owned one. It had a little jeweled belly button and green spiky hair and a little Christmas scarf. For anyone who hasn't seen what these kinds of this version of the Trolls dolls were,
They're naked.
yeah, they're just little naked guys.
There was a cartoon. It was like an action cartoon.
Oh, I did not watch that. I had one. I didn't know the origin story. I don't know how I obtained it. I carried it around with me everywhere, but looking back on it, I didn't have any like I just liked having like stuffed animals and things to go with me on trips because my family used to drive around a lot to visit family and things
Mhm.
like that. So I guess this was safer for me to have. So in case I lost it, I didn't lose my teddy bear. I do remember at one
You
point.
just lost the naked child that you hooked on your
Yeah,
bag.
because I remember I had a stuffed puppy I got in New York City and I accidentally left it with family in Virginia because we forgot to bring it back and I think I cried for a week, enough so that my mom went and bought me a bigger version of that same stuffed dog.
That works.
Yeah, I don't know what my skills are, but apparently that was one of them. But yeah, so I don't know. They just I didn't play with it. I just kept it around with me, and that's why it's on my list of like my least favorites.
That's how you get bigger bunny. You just cry a whole bunch. Just like put it in box and be like, just cry for a week, and then bigger bunny.
Little bun, come here. I gotta put you in a box.
Wait, is this the one that got compared to having the same personality type as me? Because that
Oh no
thing
no
ain't.
no, that one I don't need bigger. He gets in enough trouble.
I was gonna say that one is too hyper to put in boxes. I forgot. Oldest one is littlest.
Yes, oldest one is smallest boy.
Um, but yeah, I don't remember much from the. I'm gonna look it up, but it's like the Troll Dolls animated TV show. I remember one very specific thing, and it was very, very anime-ish. I think it was an anime. Actually, if I remember correctly, because I think I was listening to a podcast or something where they were talking about the Troll Dolls. I think they started in the 70s and
Okay.
then were just being made, and then like in the 80s they started to get a little bit more attention, and then uh yeah. But they had powers.
Oh.
Like I remember like they could shoot like energy out of their like little crystal thing.
Oh, from their belly button.
Yeah. But oh man, at least I don't know if this is. Let's see. What if I type in 80s Trolls cartoon? I'm not seeing it. Oops. But because I don't even know what it would be called, but it was like an action uh thing. I'm like clicking links at the same time to see if I can find it. Trollkins. Wait a second, is this it? Let me look this up. But I remember one specific scene where it was like 5 trolls trying to attack no, it's not this. Like to stop some enemy or something like that. And when they couldn't do it and they got thrown into this giant energy force field, and like the main character was trying to shoot lightning out of his head or something like that.
What?
And that's all I remember. Let's see. Troll cartoons from the 90s. Yeah, I'm like, that's the thing. Like, I don't like this is what I think of when I think of trolls, but like, I don't even know if it was an actual trolls cartoon, and
Now you're mixing
Oh wait,
memories.
okay, hold on. There's a Yahoo thing. 90s kids cartoon with troll-like characters. Let's see. The toys right here. If you stop the Smoggies, it's unavailable. Thanks.
Useful.
Let me see. Let me just search "Stop the Smoggies." No, this isn't it either. Hold up. Oh, this. Yeah, this is it. It's Stone Protectors.
Oh, so not the Trolls dolls that I was speaking of.
No, but like, here, I will just send you the intro. And oh, that's I was putting the wrong Discord. That would have been I don't
An
feel like
interesting explanation.
there you go. Like they have the same face and crazy hair.
Their hair's a lot smaller.
Oh yes, it's a lot smaller, but like
It has the same kind of vibe. Okay.
yes.
I did not ever watch this.
Me neat. Well, I watched the one
The one.
episode, the one
that you can't
bit.
forget.
The one bit. Oh no, hold on. Now there's another one called Trolls with a Z. Hold on, was this what I was? Nope. I'm gonna say Stone Protectors is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, I see that like the gemstone is glowing that he's got around his like as a chain around his neck.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I think of when I think of trolls. So, but anyway, was there anything else you wanted to talk about these naked lads?
Nothing in particular. I was just like I didn't know what you were supposed to play with them. I just had it.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, mean Mr. Keen is his Twitter status was day 2 and Twitch chat is dead. Is 2021 the age of enlightenment? Yeah, it's like I don't know because they are still made today. Like I guess now people like now that there's a movie has something to do with them. But what the heck do you do with a troll doll?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh no, that was the same thing. Like when so I think I mentioned this on a stream, but I got my niece a one of those gifts that you get for Christmas. And I got her a Frozen doll. And it's like I was so far out of my element because I don't remember buying like I think I bought I'm trying to remember if I ever bought like an action figure or a doll when I was younger. Like I remember buying stuffed animals, but I can't remember specifically. Like I remember looking at them, but I don't and Lego figures, but like I never bought like a Disney doll.
I know for a long time I was gifted Barbie dolls under the premise that they said if you don't open it it'll be worth something someday. What are you going to do? What's an 8-year-old going to do with that? Like, what? But I begged enough to be allowed to open one of them, and it was a doll of Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, and she had an ability to like talk. I don't remember if you like squeezed her stomach or if you pushed a button on her hand or whatever, but she would say lines from the movie. I was like, can I at least open this one? I can at least play with this one.
Watch, that's the one that's the most expensive.
Probably.
But yeah, I remember I was in the Target and like I called my brother and was like, "Your kid still likes Elsa, right? Or well, not Elsa, sorry, the Frozen things, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, so if I get her one of these doll things, that'll be fine. He's like, "Oh yeah, she'll love it." I'm like, "Okay." I get in there, and then I'm like, "There's a lot more Frozen stuff," because I never watched Frozen. I don't know anything about it except for what was in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is an Elsa and why is she so expensive? And I'm just like, I was very confused and no one has been able to answer my question. But yes. But the one I got was You poke her chest, and then she sings a song.
Okay.
And apparently, according to my brother, it's the sad song. And I'm like, I don't know any of the songs, so whatever. And then I also got her two books because like, we want our child not to be dumb. Can you get books that she can read? Because like apparently she'll just sit there and flip through books. So I got her a book called Grumpy Monkey, which is just a monkey being grumpy because I thought it was funny. And then I looked over and I was like, oh yeah, this is on brand. And I got her the Bob Ross Book of Colors. so yeah, we did that. But yeah, like I don't know what you're supposed to do with dolls. Then again, I'm also the person that just earlier said I took Hot Wheel cars and Crazy Bones and RP'd with them. So maybe that's what you're supposed to. Apparently, if they're human, I can't.
You cannot give them personalities. They already have personalities.
No, they don't. I've seen some Twitch streams.
Wow.
I watched my Twitch stream. No. Yeah. Now I want to look up the Cinderella Barbie doll and see how much it costs.
Why Cinderella?
Isn't that the one you said you had?
Dorothy from Wizard of Oz? Very different character.
Fine. Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, Barbie. Let's find out how much it cost. Oh, there's 2 of them. No, there's 3 of them. There's one from 1994 and one from 1995, and then there's one that doesn't have a year, but they're both right around $80-ish.
Yeah, so not like. Nothing.
What's another one? What's another one that you had?
I don't remember. I was helping I only remembered these because I was helping my mom clean up the house because she sold it recently, and apparently I still have some at the house. And I was like, "What are you gonna do with these?" She's like, "Oh, I'll sell them." I was like, "Okay," and then I just walked away.
I googled I don't remember Barbie and nothing came up.
Oh, shame.
Apparently what did come up was Barbie Dolphin Magic.
Okay.
She's a druid. Alrighty. So, did you have a runner-up?
That is the runner-up.
No, I meant like the runner-up to the runner-up.
No.
I had one for both.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I know my runner-up to the runner-up shouldn't be on your list because I know I mentioned this in your stream and you had the reaction, as most people do, of confusion. So my runner-up to my runner-up is Pogs. And they're just dumb. Here, I'll explain the whole thing. You have little circles of cardboard that you stack up in a stack. And then you have a metal circle that you throw at it. You have to slam it on top. That metal circle is called a slammer. And your goal is to slam it on top and knock as many of these cardboard discs off of the stack until there's no more. And that is Pogs. At least that's how Pogs was explained to me. The only reason why people really liked this was the fact that they had cool graphics on them. And the slammers were really, really like shiny. They were like special edition. But it was just a hunk of metal that you threw at cardboard. In the end, it just shows that in the 90s, if you put cool graphics on anything, you could have sold it to kids.
Oh yeah, I actually own a Pog. Only not because I had it in the 90s, but there was a YouTuber that I was a big fan of who released a book, and he said, "In every book I sell, I will sign it and put a Pog in and a Pokemon card."
Oh.
So but I never owned Pogs when I was actually a kid.
Yeah, I owned a few. And it was funny, as I mentioned, like, going to church and, like, Christian private school, they were Christian Pogs. I don't remember anything about them, except John 3:16 was written on one of the slammers, very big. That's all I remember. But yes, it's a very lame toy, which is why it's in my runner-up. The other ones, I'm more confused on why they are things. which my runner-up is a Stretch Armstrong.
Mm.
A Stretch Armstrong, for anyone who doesn't know, is just a big. It's a regular rubber man that you just pull and stretch, and that's all it does.
Stretchy boy.
Yes, like the commercials made him look like Mr. Fantastic from Marvel, but he wasn't. He just you got 2 to 4 friends to grab a limb and just go as far as you can. But then, but then they also created a villain. I don't know if this is actually based off a TV show or something. So the villain might have already existed, but the villain could do the same exact thing. But the difference was if you left the villain out in the sun, he became bubbly. And I think if you dipped him in water, he could change colors. I can't remember everything now. But yes, that was pretty much the Stretch Armstrong. Like, I don't know what you could say much about it. It literally does what it says in the title, which I guess is cool, but it's like, honestly, to get this thing to stretch into any like abnormal proportions, yet you need at least one other friend to pull. So yeah, Stretch Armstrong is super lame, and you should get it for that. Actually, you know what? I bet this toy is stupid expensive now.
Anytime anything goes out of production and someone gets a random hit of nostalgia, the toy prices go way up.
Oh, never mind. They're pretty cheap.
Oh, did they re-release them again?
I don't know, but like it's the collection thing is more than I would actually want to spend it on. Oh yeah, in 2016 they brought it back. He has his own Funko Pop. He looks like the Pip-Boy dude, but ripped. Oh.
Did you hear it again?
Yep. Oh, he apparently had a TV show in the 70s.
That would explain the reason.
Not
they
the
made a
70s.
toy.
Sorry, in 2017.
Oh, never mind. That does not explain. Well, I guess.
Well, he original design was in 76.
Oh, okay.
But I remember commercials. Stretch Armstrong, strong Cracker Barrel. Do you even have a concept of what I'm mentioning?
Yeah, I know what it looks like. The Stretch Armstrong? Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up.
I didn't own one, but I remember just seeing people just try and rip them apart. Like,
hold on. You gotta look at this real sad kid playing with a Stretch Armstrong by himself.
No.
It's just
he does not look excited.
I know, he's like, I don't want to be here.
What is this?
It's a snot man. Yeah. Oh, it apparently has 5 stars. But
Good
apparently,
for that toy.
if you want to Stretch Armstrong, go to crackerbarrel.com. They sell more than burgers.
I don't think you go to Cracker Barrel for burgers, but
I don't know. I don't remember. Do you go crackers? I don't know what you get there.
It's supposed to be like comfort foods. I don't know if it's necessarily Southern foods, but Strider's family likes to go there and get things like chicken and dumplings, catfish, things like that.
Southern foods. But yeah, no, I don't go to Cracker Barrel also. I remember like one of my cousins, one of my aunts and uncles like to go there a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I think like that's the reason. Like I got a burger last time I was there, and that's why my brain went burger. Yeah, that's all I have about that. And Stretch Armstrong sucks. So, what is your number one before we get cuckooed again?
Number one most disliked.
Number one bad boy.
Furbies.
Oh my goodness, we wrote the same thing.
Nice. Yeah. I'm not giving them any kind of extra introduction. I believe everyone knows what a Furby is, whether or not you grew up in the 90s. I think they have overtaken the internet again since. It is such a cursed thing. I've seen long Furbies on, like, social media.
Oh, I haven't. Hold on. I'll
Look up long Furbies. I hate it. It's cursed. It's awful. But, so the reason why I put Furbies here is I owned a... It's cursed.
It's a snake. Oh my goodness, that price is cursed.
I've seen videos of people that have made Furby organ pianos. So every key that they hit is a different Furby.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a piano in the shape of a Furby.
No. It's as you hit the keys, it's different for like think of like a organ and how they have the different bells and the different like chimes and stuff. Except
my
Furby
brain
mounts.
went immediately to Toad.
But yeah, so I owned a Furby, and I was trying to brag about my Furby to a friend, and I said, it's so great. You take care of it, and it's a little robot, and you feed it by pressing on its tongue. As I showed it to this friend, the Furby died. So I guess I killed my Furby in front of my friend, and they went, does it usually make that noise? And I went, no. And it made like a demon drowning noise. And then my family was like, oh, just replace the batteries. It's fine. Replace the batteries. I put it in my bedroom, and it would just wake up in the middle of the night and, like, make noises. I was like, it is possessed. I don't want it.
It reminds me of, there's a game that is based off of this. It's a small indie horror game. Mm-hmm. Tattletale, I think it's called. Let me look it up. But it's very much like built off of that Furby thing. Yep, Tattletale, $3. Here, I will send you the link.
Why is it that you dislike Furbies? Mine is bad memories. Cursed object.
I just thought they were dumb. Nah, like when I think of Furbies, I never actually owned one. And actually, I owned a non-electronic one. So it's just the shell of a Furby that's sewn up. Because I think I wanted one when I was younger, and my mom was like, no. But at the same time, this is also when the meme was going around that Furbies actually had cameras in the eyes, and China or Japan, or I don't know who made them, was spying on us. I want to know where that meme started. But it was... I that's like what I remembered all in there. But then it's like, I remember like my friend had one, and I looked at it and was like, wait, that's it? But it was like the Tickle Me Elmo. Like, it was like parents had to get this for their little child. And then I don't remember anyone actually enjoying said Furby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no one's ever told me a good story about these creatures.
But what I do remember is a couple of years after the Furby, they're like, let's rekindle this love for this freak robot and make the Shelby, which is just a shell, a stuffed shell that did the same exact thing. Let me see. Is it called a Shelby? Shelby Toy Furby. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, in 2001. This came out. And it looks like a Furby, but with a shell. Yeah, so if you just type in Shelby Toy Furby, it will show up.
Shelby. Unpleasant. That's almost worse than the original.
Yeah, like this one didn't last long either.
It's so much more robotic looking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a reason why no one knows of the Shelby. Could also be the fact that the Shelby was also the name of a car.
Yeah, I started to type Shelby and I was getting the Mustang.
Yeah, that's why I that's why I mentioned, hey, look up specifically this. But yeah, like I remember there would be like I don't know if you would hear these stories of the Furby where like um like the eyes would glow as
I
like
did
in the
not
night and
witness
stuff.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like the more and more I heard of this meme of oh my gosh, it's spying and on your kids. Like I don't know. It was just one of those things where it's one of the very first early memories that DPayne has of the world, some part of the world just gaslighting this toy, and I loved it. Where it was like the the Furbies, they have cameras in them and they're sending information back to I don't know which country it was, and they're spying on your kids and blah blah blah. I think there was news reports about it too.
The news loves stuff like this. Conspiracy
Mm-hmm.
theories, essentially. Don't tell your kids to play this toy. It's dangerous. It's like when
By this Elmo.
yeah. Oh, this Elmo is used for drug trafficking. I remember that news story.
Oh, that's a good Elmo.
Yeah. They were like, we opened up this Elmo and it had drugs in it. It's like, I don't think Toys R Us Elmos in a box still.
I think my favorite drug story is the fact that um, someone went to KFC and ordered mac and cheese and biscuits. They got the order, they go home, they opened up the bag, and it was just filled with drugs.
That was the code.
Yes. And so that means, could you imagine the person actually going for drugs, getting there doing the same order, and that person's like, oh no. What? Why?
I just got food.
But the story is there's two reactions to this story where the person opens up the bag, finds drugs, and immediately gives it to the cops. To where there's normally two reactions where it's just like, oh man, good thing those drugs are off the street. To the other reaction was like, that guy's an idiot. Why would I kept those drugs for myself?
Oh my goodness.
So, um, yeah, I like these stupid urban legends that amount to nothing. They're fun. But yeah, that's I didn't really have anything to specifically say about the Furby except that the world for some reason hated this toy. And I just remember all the memes before the world understood the term meme, even though it lasted way before the internet claimed it.
Yeah.
Um it yeah, it was just wow. It makes me wonder if there was more love for the Furby, would we have a Furby TV show?
I can't even imagine what the topic would be because they don't do anything. They just need. It's kind of like the Tamagotchi,
Well,
except this is like it doesn't disappear once it's decided it's died. It just sits there and haunts you.
oh, it had a TV show. It was
What?
canceled in 26. There's two zeros between the six and the two.
Okay, okay. I was
Oh,
like
Tara
two.
Strong is the protagonist.
I was like 226. Wait, what year is?
Furby Island, canceled 2006 TV show. Nunu was the protagonist. Oh, oh, it was a movie, and it was the backdoor pilot to see how Furby TV series could possibly fare.
And I guess it wasn't good.
There was apparently 3 episodes.
It doesn't
Which
appear that there's any like footage or anything to tell me what happened. It's a Furby commercial, 1 star, June 2019 on IMDb. This is a very long review.
I want to read the episodes. There was 3 out of 13 episodes that were apparently released. And here's the names of them. Furby Island is episode 1. Makes sense. That is the pilot slash movie
Mm-hmm.
thing. immediately does a hard 180 to number 2 episode being titled Venom. And then number 3, not in Furby Land anymore. Oh, wait, here's the descriptions of the episodes. Okay, so Nunu, who's Tara Strong, that's what it set up earlier, and his friend Maddie are celebrating Furby New Year's when Professor Nana arrives and kidnaps Neki, another Furby. Who would have thought?
With a name like that.
Yes, it is a race against time to save Neki before she is shipped to a research lab. Okay. Now that's Furby Island. Venom, Nunu and Maddie are at Doc Demi's house talking about deadly venomous spiders living on the island. Nunu and Maddie volunteer to hunt some of these spiders down so Demi can perform tests on them. And then not in Furby Land anymore. It looks pretty much just like Wizard of Oz. A tornado strikes Furby Island, and many Furbies, Nunu included, are sent to a magical land called Furbaz, where magic is the prime law of the land, and the Wicked Wizard of the South lives and prisons Maddie in a crystal orb. It is up to Nunu, Shellbot, and the cowardly Furby and Strawbee to save Maddie and vanish the Wizard of Oz, the Wizard of the South. These episodes sound buck wild, and I want to watch them.
Yeah, this is writers for shows like these. I always wonder what the thought process is that they're like, oh, this makes so much sense. So apparently the movie thing has a different cast completely, at least listed on IMDb. That's the one that had the review on it.
Is this a CGI thing? These look like freakazoids. Yeah, this is a CGI thing. Oh, okay, hold on. The movie. Hold on. I think I'm looking up the movie. Let's see the TV show.
Like, all I've found is a single poster.
I will send you what I'm looking at. I downloaded so many of these screenshots. Welcome to ClickCast, everybody. If you want to look this up, you can.
Like, that's what I see. And it just...
This is what I see.
Oh, that looks like a chicken, not a Furby.
It looks like a bad render of what was on the movie poster that you sent me.
also very accurate.
Oh, but this one... Okay, so then here's this... Oh, this is a Java game. Okay. I looked at enough Furby stuff than I ever wanted to, so... I'm pulling us out of the Furby hole.
We don't need to stay here too long. It's dangerous.
So, in short, Furbies are weird.
It's nightmare fuel.
I want a long Furby.
No.
Do you think Trash Panda can make me a long Furby background?
I was try to ask in the Discord. Like I said, I'm not sure if that image was found or made, but do you want to let the audio listeners know what your current computer background is?
I think I have. Ooh, look at this Furby. Hold on. I will. Okay, so my current thing is, if people remember the Sonic the Hedgehog, the original Sonic the Hedgehog CGI one, where he had human teeth. It is that picture, but what they did was Trash Panda, either, which is someone in Hop's community, either found or edited Watto's face from episode 1 of the Star Wars, and most people are like, who the heck is that? It's the character's like, Annie. So that one, the blue trash alien that is there, and edited his eyes and mouth on top of that Sonic and is now my background. And to this day, I still don't think Trash Panda knows. So, but yes, how was that, Furby?
Oh no, that's
Now
not where teeth go.
you explain this one.
Imagine.
Ooh, I found another one.
So imagine a Furby in all its Furby glory, but instead, where I guess you'd call its neck exists, instead it is open to reveal the insides, all the metal insides of the Furby, and in where the like neck chin area would meet, I guess, their stomach or chest, just teeth. Human teeth, as if that is its new mouth and not the beak.
I have another one.
You have to explain this one.
Okay. So, this Furby, here's a good way to explain it. If you guys ever watched Toy Story 1, there was a fishing pole with legs. And now take those legs and the arms that would be the equivalent of that action figure, and instead of attaching it to a fishing pole, it is attached to a Furby who looks like it is in shock of what is happening. But it looks, the way the limbs are bent, it looks like a spider.
Fun fact, someone pointed out that they, I don't know if it was intentional or what, but that the doll with the legs and the fishing hook is a hooker.
I did see that. Yeah. It's not a long Furby though. What is this one? Oh, this is a Dune reference. I think. I don't know. Looked like it. How to skin and wash your Furby? Okay, you know what? I am also saying it's time to back out.
Yeah, you went down too far, sir.
Yeah, no, but I found some good things. I found some choice nuggets from the Furby community, and now it's deleted off my computer. Well, it's in my recycle bin. But now it is quite dark in the DPayne abode. So
thanks, Winter, for the short daylight hours.
Yes, but also thank Winter that now we can control our light source a little bit better, but now we don't record video.
No, we would have no control. We would start during daylight and end at night and have to
I would just have my windows closed. Oh, yeah, do we want to do a quick refresh? Ooh, excuse me, I just cracked my back. Of what we just chatted about?
Yeah. So I'll go first since I kicked off our choices. My runner-up favorite was Perfection, and my most favorite toy from the 90s was a Skip It. My least favorites, runner-up, were Trolls dolls, and our nightmare fuel, as we have just discussed, Furbies.
It's a good nightmare fuel. My good choices were Crazy Bones and Yo-Yo, and my bad ones were Stretch Armstrong and the Furby. So, yeah. So, as we hinted at the beginning of the episode, we once again, since out of the three kind of response things that we got, said we like guests, and we're like, fine, we're gonna get guests, and we have another guest. Yeah. So, if anyone has been around for a little while, at least of our streams, you would have probably heard us mention our good friend, the Kathy Feed, who will be joining us talking about TFT Set 4 Champions. We will, if you guys have no clue what TFT is, don't worry, we explain it in the episode. But then again, if you also want to know what TFT is, stop by one of our streams, twitch.com/ I almost said Pointless Disco, but that is not the link. Stop on by to twitch.com/Hoppocalypse or twitch.com/ oh, it's TV.
Yes, I was about to Twitch. Just
go to Twitch and type in that search bar Hoppocalypse or DPayne on a Tuesday night, and 90% of the time we will be there grumbling playing TFT. But yeah, that is something that will be happening. Also, a much easier way to find those links will be at the bottom in the show notes, because that's posted there every week. But yeah, Kathy will be joining, a good friend of both of ours, and yeah. Also, if you guys watch the YouTube videos, that will be one of the ones that actually has video, because we asked what she wanted, and she said video, and we're like, or she said video works. Because now that I'm thinking, I never said we just default to not video. um, but yeah, there's that, and there's other things we say. I'm gonna give it to Hop while I get a swig of water.
Okay. So yeah, thanks for listening in. Again, like we said, tune in for the next episode with our next guest. And don't forget, well, I say don't forget as if it's like a daily chore or something for you guys, but
It should be. I don't know what she's about to say, but it should be a
we
daily
would
chore.
appreciate for support for the podcast if you could leave us a review somewhere and let us know so we can see it and give you a shout out. And if you don't have time to leave a review, maybe share us with a friend. Be like, hey, these guys have a lot of opinions about cursed things. You might enjoy the cursed things.
Curse cast.
Curse cast. But yeah. Is there anything else, DPayne?
I know I bumbled what it is, but yeah. Did you say our Twitter?
Twitter.com/pointlessdisco.
Okay. At least was said correctly and not by me.
Not Twitter.tv, not Twitch.com.
Yes. The funny thing is, Twitch.com will still take you to Twitch.tv.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they have it all redirect.
Not org. Actually, I don't know about org. Yeah, the only other thing I can think of is for people who may have been listening for a while, they're like, when can we vote again? Dude, after next episode, you will be able to vote.
Yes, we're going to keep the tradition as much as we can where the guest gets to roll for our next topics.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're glad we're here, and yeah, this is the official first recorded episode of 2021, and it is the first episode of 2021. The other episode was recorded in that weird time-space continuum between Christmas and New Year's, where no one knows what day it is.
Yeah, everyone's just like, is anything open? Oh, I guess it's not a holiday, but
Yep. So yeah, I think that's it. If there's anything else, well, we'll get it in 2 weeks, I guess, because the other episode's already recorded. Bye.